How resilient are you against criticism, failure? How quickly can you actually bounce back from something that makes you feel absolutely rubbish? That's what I want to talk about in this week's video. Because having delivered a workshop on building resilience this week, I thought I'd look up the word resilience, and it says ability to recover quickly after something rubbish, after something goes wrong, or you're feeling rubbish and you want to pick yourself up again. And it really is about your ability to change how you feel. Well, resilience isn't something that you can just do in a day. And as I told the people I was speaking to, resilience, I can talk to them about resilience. Is that going to help them become resilient within the space of a few hours? Absolutely not. You've got to be joking. The only way you're ever going to build up resilience, the only way you're ever going to feel different is to feel different. If you want to change how you feel, you're going to have to change how you feel. But that's really, really hard work, because basically training yourself to react differently to any type of situation is asking you to rewire the patterns in this fabulous biocomputer of yours. You may know that we repeat things. We learn through repetition. This means that if you keep telling yourself something, if you keep saying, I'm no good at doing that, or there's no point in me writing that email to that client because they're not interested in what I have to offer anyway. If you've got this negative self-chat going on all the time, some people call it the imposter syndrome. If you keep repeating that, those thoughts will become beliefs. Those beliefs will become at some level then your habits, and those habits then become behavior, and then your behavior, well, it's part of who you are, and it's an element of your personality. And when you have already become that person, if you like, it's going to be very, very difficult to change. And if you ask somebody who feels that they could be more resilient, but they don't really know how to respond instead of react to negativity, then it can be very tough. And it can be very easy just to step away and say, I'm not just that, I can't do it. I'm just not that kind of a human being. Some people will tell themselves, I'm always weak. Or the conversations I've had with people, I'm just an introvert. It's just not me. Well, it might not be you now, but we do know the science tells us that it is possible for you to change if you want to. Now, from a business perspective or from a professional development perspective, this is going to be very, very important, because I was speaking to a client this week who had not only hesitated, but had simply not followed up on conversations with clients. Not because she's not capable, not because her service isn't fabulous, not because what she's offering to those people isn't transformational, but she pushed herself into a corner where she said, I just haven't got the confidence. Who am I to be writing to these people? At a very steep kind of soul level, what is happening there? It's a fear of rejection. It's the inability to be resilient, if you like. It's that inability to bounce back from negativity, from criticism, potentially from failure. Now, as somebody who used to be that quiet mouse in a meeting, not daring to say anything, and being told from various people throughout my career when I was working in the United Nations and other international organisations, that I would never make it because I didn't have the technical skills. I've always been a people's person. When I lost my job in 2011, I spent 2 years running around in my head thinking, what am I going to do now? Am I able? Am I resilient? Can I bounce back from this? And the most important thing I learned was that it is not about intensity. It is not about the level of action that you take. You can't wake up one day and suddenly decide, yep, this is going to be me. There are several steps that you have to take to literally build up that resilience. So the first step, number one, is your self-awareness. You need to understand, you need to check yourself, you need to notice those thoughts that you're having, those negative phrases that you're telling yourself, those negative messages. You need to check yourself as soon as you hear them. Now, we also know, science also tells us that we have between 60 and 70,000 thoughts per day. And 90% of those thoughts are repetitive. Lots of them are negative. This means that you are repeating the same thoughts, which become those beliefs. You're doing the same things, so you get the same results. You end up feeling the same, and you just go round and round in that circle again, not achieving anything much in particular. And over the long term, you are going to damage yourself, not only your business or your career, you're going to damage your emotional state, your mental well-being. So as I said, number one, actually in the emotional intelligence model is self-awareness. Check yourself. As soon as you hear yourself saying, oh, I'm just not going to do it. It's not worth it. I'll never get a response anyway. They don't want to hear from me anyway. Check yourself. Write it down. Write that message down and then read it back to yourself. How ridiculous is that? If you want to change and you start writing down these ridiculous negative things that you're telling yourself, the next thing, number 2, is to identify the obstacles that you believe you face to be able to actually change. Now, when I talk about obstacles, so many people, myself included, are very good at externalizing, blaming the environment, your spouse, your partner, your friends, your boss if you're at work. The economy, COVID, pandemic, there is so much outside of us to blame about how we feel. Some people decide to actually leave a job, move country, move house, and they're excited and they're enthusiastic for about 6 months, and then they just get back to feeling the same because that wasn't what was wrong with them. It's always in here and in here. So write down the obstacles to you feeling different, to you feeling better. And you will see that I'm betting you probably 90% of the things you write down will be external factors. Now, it is 100% your choice how you react or respond to those external factors. So a lot of those things that you think are obstacles, they are not obstacles. There may be things that are obstacles from a practical perspective. And those are the things where you can say, do I need to learn how to do something new? Is there somebody I can speak to? Do I need to get myself a coach to help me stay accountable and to challenge me and to keep pushing me forward? When you look at what you need to learn, you will probably blast most of those obstacles out of the water. It might be email marketing. It might be setting up a website. It might be a new language. But like I said, the majority of real obstacles that are preventing you from feel better about yourself to get to achieving what you want to do, your intention or your goal, those obstacles, 90% of them will be external, so they're not relevant. And the 10% relevant things, you probably have a very, very good chance of overcoming those things because they will have to do with learning, reaching out to somebody and just getting some new information about what you should be doing. So when you have, number 1, got your self-awareness, number 2, looked at the obstacles, identified which are real obstacles and which aren't. Number 3 is going to be for you to start bringing this together and thinking about your limiting beliefs. Again, questioning yourself. Where on earth did that, belief come from? Whoever told me that I couldn't do email marketing? Whoever told me I couldn't set up in business at the age of 50 or 55 or 70? Where do those beliefs even come from? Again, this is about challenging yourself and helping your brain, make it easy for your brain to go through this emotional change easily. As soon as you bring anything drastic into your life, your brain is automatically going to say, hold on a second, this is going to take a lot of energy. I don't know if we can do this. You know what? Let's just stay where we are because there we're safer. There's no risk to life if we just carry on doing as we're doing. Now, when we talk about the subconscious, I want you to think about how powerful it really is. Think about the patterns, the systems already happening. The fact that you breathe every day, the fact that you go to sleep and wake up, what your body does through the digestive process, the fact that we can speak, see, our senses, all of those things. Your subconscious is monitoring and managing all those systems without you even thinking about it. So if you understand how powerful that subconscious system is that you have, can you imagine then if you wake up one day and say, I want to change how I feel, you are fighting a huge machine. So this is why when it then comes to taking specific action, which is going to be your next step, that you break it down as small as possible so that you are not pushing yourself into overwhelm or procrastination, or that your subconscious is giving you a hand to some fabulous self-sabotage so that you can't do what you want to do. Consistency, taking small steps, doing something new every day, is always going to win over intensity. It's just like when somebody says, I'm going to get fit and I want to go to the gym and I'm going to go every day for 2 hours, and then after a week they give up because they're exhausted. Much better to actually go for half an hour one day or 3 times a week, and then build up your time, 40 minutes 3 times a week or whatever. That consistency is going to help your brain manage this change in your habits, manage the change in your emotions. So those are 4 things that you need to do. Is the self-awareness, checking yourself, writing down those messages, looking at the obstacles. Are they real or are you just making them up? Looking at what there is that you need to do, potentially learning something. Then again, looking at your limiting beliefs, and then to start taking actions. The most important thing out of all this, though, is if you know you're feeling rubbish, if you know you're not feeling resilient, not able to bounce back from criticism or failure or whatever it is that you want to be resilient against, how do you actually want to feel? Because it's no good saying, I want to change how I feel. That means not much. Do you want to feel fabulous? Do you want to feel confident? Do you want to feel happy? Do you want to feel in control? Do you want to feel as though you're a trailblazer or a change maker or even a soulful innovator? Are you a leader? Do you want to have a vision that is going to change the world for the better? And if that's the case, how does that actually feel? Because there's going to be a very big gap for you to fill if you're not feeling great, if you don't feel resilient, if you don't feel that you're able to bounce back every time there's a criticism or somebody says something negative about you. If you can't do that and you want to feel fabulous, it's a big gap to fill. So what is feeling fabulous actually? Wanting to jump out of bed every morning and go and talk to lots and lots of people and spend time in the garden and smile at the sunshine and have an ice cream and listen to loud music and have a little dance in the bathroom. I hope that helps you to understand how you can actually build resilience. As I was thinking about building resilience, and when I read that definition, the ability to bounce back from something, what I actually thought was, by taking this even a step further, there shouldn't be a need for you to be resilient. You should already be feeling confident and fabulous about being you, because I know that as a human being, you are incredible. Just think about what you do every day. You are an amazing person in this fabulous thing we call the human race on this planet. Love yourself a little bit more. I could keep going on. I'm not going to. If you have enjoyed this video, please remember to like, comment or share. If you'd like to get in touch and speak to me about how I could support you with my coaching program, with my Radiate coaching program, because as somebody who empowers female leaders in the not-for-profit sector, I've been on the journey that you've been on, and I would love to work with you to help you ensure that your vision becomes a reality. There is a link below for you to be able to book a time for us to speak. Until we meet again, stay safe, stay healthy, stay fabulous, because you are. Loads of love and bye for now.